Hello, hello. Welcome back to Taking Care with Natalie Rand. So I'm Natalie Rand, as you would have guessed, and we are here today to move and to answer some questions. So if you're located in the Los Angeles, California area, or really anywhere in the state of California, you may have noticed that as the week has progressed, it has gotten strangely hot. It's about 80 something degrees where I'm located. And if you're further south or even east, it's warmer. So that being said, it's like, what season is this, right? So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is how to navigate this topsy-turvy weather where you're like, in the morning it's 50 degrees, in the afternoon it's 90, and then in the evening we're slowly cooling back down. So one of the things that I do is at the very end of the week, the previous week, so Sunday, I'll look at like the forecast. And sometimes, obviously, it does not stay the same, right? But if it looks like it's progressively getting warmer in the middle of the day, which is the majority of the time that I'm outside, well, then I'll plan to eat accordingly. So I might start my morning off with something warm, unctuous, and a little bit more paired with the season. Like we are in fall, so normally fall weather, you probably start having oats or something a little bit warmer. But then for lunch, when it's about 80 or 90 degrees, I may give myself a little variation on, instead of having something that would be a little heavier, because it's warmer and the day between 12 and 2, maybe I'll have more food options that are just lighter in a sense. So instead of having like, say I choose like rice and beans, tofu, or if I'd have some kind of stew, normally I would switch it up and have maybe like lentil soup, and then I'd have like a variety of veggies and a grain, something that is light enough for me, but also fulfilling, right? And even the spices I would change. So instead of having something where it's like really super spicy, or pungent, because I'm trying to warm my body up, I might do something that neutralizes. So I'll have, say, some ginger, but then I'll neutralize it and put a little bit of coriander, something to balance out the actual quality of the food. So I'm not overheating myself or, cooling myself down. And now this would all go according to your body, right? And we're not all the same, right? So if I were a little bit smaller, then I would shift and I would eat something heavier. Whereas if I was heavier, then I would do the opposite, right? So it's always like, how do we balance it all out? So on that note, speaking of balance, it is very warm outside, so I wouldn't recommend going for a strong run. So today we're going to do more strengthening exercises, and we'll start with some simple stretches, right? Something that's respectable, but also we can still get ourselves kind of challenged, right? All right, so we're going to do Pilates today, but we'll start off with some nice yogic stretches. Okay. And I'm going to shift back so you're still able to see the length of my body, but move with me as well. All right. So from here, I like to start lying down just because it kind of gives people options. But if generally speaking, laying is not really like, it's hard for you to get up and down off of the floor. If you have a table, which is not common, then you could work on the table, or you could actually do most of the exercises. I'll give you an alternative in terms of something opposite that you can do. All right. So we're going to start lying on our backs. If it's ideal, you can lay on your side first. All right. I'm going to bring this up slightly. Great. And then you'll go to the back. All right. So from here, we'll start by pulling the right knee into the chest. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let's grab the bottom of the foot. Now, if you can't catch your foot, you can keep your hand here or just pull your hand behind the hamstring. Then you're going to catch the bottom of the foot and kind of do like a half happy baby. Happy baby is usually when the knee goes on the outside of the ribs, but we're going to keep one foot on the mat with the knee bent, all right? And we'll take 3 breaths here, breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. And if it's hard for you to reach the top of the foot, make sure you honor that and just put the hands behind the hamstring. You're still anchoring your left foot on the floor, making sure that the pelvis is fairly even, aside from the obvious where the right hip is lifting, right? Take another inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. One more deep breath in and exhale out. Right, so we started with the knee just bent into the chest, and if that will suffice, we'll leave it at that, right? Same thing, opposite leg, pull the knee into the body, And then we'll grab the bottom of the foot if it's available to us, right? And then bring that foot toward the ceiling. If this is too much, you can bring your hands underneath the hamstring. Take a deep inhale into the nose. Notice I'm not pulling my knee to the ground. Again, breathe in and out. Stretching the back of the hamstring, breathe in and out, right? And if this is your first time or your first time even doing these exercises, you have to remember to make sure you check in with a primary care physician before starting anything new. Allow the knees to fall to one side of the body as you look one way. And then switch it, almost like windshield wipers. Let the knees fall opposite as you look toward the arm. Again, shift. And exhale. One more time, breathe. And exhale. Good, and from here, you're gonna pull both knees into the chest, going back to that starting position. Grab the bottom of the feet. Again, if it's too much for you, you can keep the knees into the chest. Both of the feet are gonna go up to the ceiling as you make sure your pelvis stays down on the floor. Grab the outside of the feet. Breathe into the lower back and allow the knees to come slightly beside the ribs, right? You can shift side to side, breathing into the lower back. If it's too much for you, then you'll just bring your hands underneath the hamstrings and start from here. Making sure that the stretch bends at the hip, right? It's not going into the lower back. So if you find your hips off the ground, it's a pass, right? Lower the feet down. Place your right foot on top of the knee, and we're going to do a piriformis stretch. Just thread the needle if possible, right? And bring the hands on top of the opposite leg, just below the knee, and breathe. Instead of you pushing that knee away, keep it toward the shoulder that it's closest to, and just breathe 2 breaths. And exhale. I like to flex my feet to protect the knee. Breathe in. And exhale, because you have your muscles around the knee are active, which will help support the knee in a more respectful fashion. Same thing, place the opposite foot on top of the knee. Grab the opposite top of the shin. Breathe in, 3 breaths. 2, but really 3 on the first side. And 1. Exhale. One more time, deep breath in. And out. Good. From this position, release the legs. Stretch the arms all the way above you. Extend the legs out beneath you. Flex through the heels. Notice that my ribs are flaring. So let's bring the arms up to the ceiling and lower the ribs by pulling the abdomen in and squeezing the heels together. We're going to exhale. Bring the palms so they're just slightly out of the peripheral of your vision. The shoulder blades are going down into the back and the abdomen is connected. The heels are going to squeeze together and you're going to try to roll up. Now, if you're not usually someone who can roll up, you can bend the knees and crawl the body up, which we've done before. All right, we'll do that 4 times to begin. Exhale, roll the spine forward, reach for 3. Notice my navel's in 2, and notice I'm not trying to touch my toes. I'm actually stretching my spine. Squeeze the heels together. So this is a roll-up variation that we've done before in the past. And come down. Exhale, roll the body forward, drop the head. Reach, 2, 3. While I'm here, all of this is lifting in and up. And then you're going to squeeze and pull the navel in and back, in and back. My feet are reaching that direction as I squeeze the heels and reach the arms up to the sky simultaneously. It's almost like I'm trying not to move my heels. Twice more. Exhale, bring the body forward. Reach for 1. Reach for 2. Reach for 3. And squeeze the heels to peel. Right? Try to get both sides of the back down onto the mat together like a paint roller. Exhale, reach it forward. 1 and 2 and 3 and lower down. Good. Now we're going to roll up to transition. You're going to roll all the way up. And then from this position, fingertips go toward the ankles, and you're going to try in one swift move to bring your hips towards your heels. All right? So instead of kind of moving around, you're going to literally come from that long position, fingertips down, and shift forward. Pull the knees into the chest, and you're going to rock back and forth. So let your body roll and squeeze your heels. It looks a lot more challenging or less challenging than it is. The goal is not to use your momentum. The goal is to use your pelvic floor muscles and your heels to come to the top, right? So when you're really using your seat and your heels and you're squeezing, you're in a great place, all right? From this position, you're going to reach the right leg out and pull it back in. If this is too hard for you, skip it and reach the opposite leg out, right? If you can reach both legs, do. If you can stay in balance, you're going to rock forward and back. Now go back to the single leg position if that's too much for you to rock forward and back. Notice how my lower back's arching. And try to keep your back curled. Reach through the legs, press the palms against the legs to come back up. This is called open leg rocker. Press against the arms, press against the legs so your abdomen is strong. And then you'll come up, close the legs, flex through the heels. Eventually you're going to catch your toes. Not today. Grab behind the calves, squeeze and rock, squeeze and roll. Squeeze and rock, squeeze and roll. All right, so it really requires a lot of your abdomen. Squeeze and rock. Good, and from this position, you're gonna bend the knees. You have 3 options. You can either keep the legs straight, you can bend the knees or place them down, right? I'll do the first one like this so you can see, squeeze the inner thighs, lower the back, reach the arms back. Exhale, bring the arms up, reach the arms up. This is the second version. Legs stay bent. You're going to roll down. Don't move your legs. It's like they're glued to an imaginary wall in front of you. Bring it back. And up. Right? In the final version, squeeze, roll the body down, keeping the legs long. Now, obviously, if this is the first time you're doing this, I would opt out immediately, right? And just bend the knees and go back to the fourth one. Bring it back up. And then everything's going to roll back down. All right? Easy? No. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. 3, 2, 1. So we just did a round of 4. We rolled up 4 times. We rolled like a ball 4 times. We did an open leg rocker 4 times. We did closed leg rocker 4 times. And then we did what is called teaser, a classical exercise in Pilates where it's a bit of torture if you haven't done it before. But please utilize your modifications, all right? So from here, we're going to do 3. We'll go straight through. Exhale, bring it up. Reach forward for 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. And again, exhale, bring it forward. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. One more time. Feel both heels squeeze to the floor. 2, 1. Roll it down. We're going to transition. Roll up once more to roll like a ball. Bring the fingertips down. Shift your body toward the front of the mat. Rock back and forth 3 times. Tight ball 2 times. Keep your heels close to your seat. 1 time. Open the legs. Remember, you can stay here the whole time and just balance. Otherwise, back and forth for 3. Press against the legs. 2. Press against the legs. 1. Press against the legs. Close the legs. Same thing. Remember, if this is too hard, you'll go back to balancing in this position and just trying to get your body to the position. Or keeping the knees bent is another option as well. Squeeze the inner thighs. Good, and from here, reach the arms forward. Arms lift. Roll the spine down. And bring it back up. Notice my knees are bent. I'm giving myself some grace here. 2. And then I have 1 more to do. Squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the legs. And last one. Everything's going to lower. Stretch the arms and legs. 2. Round of 2. Notice that I'm hyperextending here. Find your ribs. Humble the rib cage. Arms reach up. Press the heels together. Roll forward. Your body is probably moving forward on your mat, which is fine. And then we'll move back. All right? One more time. Exhale, bring it forward. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze the heels to roll down. Bring it on for a transition. Bend the knees. All right? Back and forth 2 times. 1 time. Open leg rocker. Arms reach. 2 times. Keep the back rounded. 1 time. Notice if your body's going back and forth. Squeeze the legs together 2 times. And 1 time. Squeeze. Good. And from here, teaser down with the back. The legs stay solid. They don't move. Arms reach up. Squeeze the inner thighs. Bring it back up. And then everything goes down together. How was that? It's really actually not easy, right? So again, have grace with yourself. If it's not going as planned, take a break or try it in sections. You do things a little bit at a time, right? Last round, 1, 1, 1, right? Exhale, roll it up. Reach it forward. 1, 2, 3. Roll the spine down. Arms reach up. Roll it up for rolling like a ball. Fingertips go down. Hug the knees into the body. Rock it back and forth. Back and forth. So that should have been 1, a single. Back and forth. Close the legs. If you're really tight in the hamstrings and back, or even in the hip flexors, it's not like a go-to exercise for you. Roll it back and bring it up. Everything's gonna go down together and then flip over like a pancake, all right? Onto your belly. I hope that went well for you. That was not an easy thing to do, but it's okay. One step at a time. You can just start with the roll-ups and then go from there, right? Roll-ups, rolling like a ball. And if it's not for you, then just skip this particular section, right? You can fast forward, especially since you got a chance to see the exercise. So lying on your belly, we're gonna reach the arms and legs long. If you find that you bring your arms long and then you can't lie your head down, you have a lot of restriction, you can actually just keep your head down and arms down, okay? But we're gonna do the swimming exercise. So pull the navel off the floor. So you see here, navel should be able to come out. So if I pull my shirt together, you should see space, right? Pull the navel up. If you don't have space there yet, don't be discouraged. Just squeeze what you can and pull it up, all right? Arms reach long, legs and arms are gonna come off the floor, and you're gonna lift and switch, lift and switch. So pull the navel in, one arm's reaching up, and if you can't get your arms above, you can put both hands here and just lift your lower legs. Keep your upper back activated. You can even go so far as to bring your hands off, all right? And then we're gonna keep going. Switch, switch, and we're gonna speed it up a little, and we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, relax, right? Sit back into child's pose. Knees are gonna get wide. So in Pilates, we also swim. That's our variation on swimming. Drop the head, reaching the fingertips nice and long, release the forehead down. Breathe into the lower back, all right? And the next time we do it, we'll go a little bit faster. We're starting here, drop the head, breathe into the back, and exhale. One more deep breath, inhale, exhale. From here, go onto all fours, all right? So we're gonna go back to swimming, but before we do, you're gonna arch the back, tuck the feet, open the chest, stretch out the spine. You're actually shortening it here, then you're gonna lengthen it. Arch, curl, stretch the spine, arc the back. So really feel that your upper chest is going up, the ribs are dropping a little bit, but you're not completely releasing your belly, right? The abdomen is still squeezing it up, and then you're gonna curl the spine underneath and come to a neutral position, right? From here, look back towards your ankle on either side. You're gonna come to the center, look to the other side, and come back to the center. And then look again, stretching out the waist, keeping the pelvis going back, and then opposite side. Come to the center. Now from this position, I want you to press your palms down, press the feet down. Everything's pushing against the mat. Pull the abdomen in. I want you to reach your right leg away from the floor. Reach the leg out to the side, then bring it behind you, and out to the side, and then bring it behind you. Now, if that's too much for you, you can just lower the leg and then lift the leg. The goal is to keep the pelvis even on both sides. Find a little bit of softness in the elbows so you don't hyperextend. All right, one more time. And if you are doing side to side and reach to the side, bring it back, right? You're using your obliques and you're really using your arms, right? Activating the upper pectoral muscles. One more time, out to the side. Try to get to your own nose. And then switch legs, all right? Starting with the leg going up and down. Remember, the whole time you can go up and down here. We'll do 4 rounds. 2 more. Pressing the palms, keeping the elbows soft. And then that leg goes up to go to the side, and then we'll bring it back, right? And side. Remember, if you can't kick to the side, what's gonna happen? You're gonna lower the leg and you're gonna lift the leg, right? Try not to let your whole body go askew. You're really using your upper body to make any of this happen. Good, and then we'll go back to our child's pose. Drop the head, breathe into the lower spine. Good, and before we go into the swimming exercise again, you're gonna lie down onto your belly, bring both of your elbows down, drop your shoulder blades, and make 2 fists, all right? While your fists are on the mat, pressing down, pull the abdomen in, we're gonna do what's called the single leg kicks, right? Press the fist down into the mat so much that you could slightly lift the elbows off, but if you're doing that and your shoulders are going up to the ears, it's a no, right? So keep the shoulder blades down, press the fists into the floor, pull the abdomen in, zip the inner thighs together. The pelvis is heavy on the mat. The abdomen is squeezing in and out, but your hip bones stay down on the floor, all right? So from here, kick your right heel to the seat. Kick, kick, and switch. Pull the navel down. Kick, kick, and switch. And if it feels like you're at the beach, that means you need to do a little bit more, all right? Abdomen's in, fists are pressing into the ground. Kick, kick, and switch. Abdomen. Notice when I kick my heels forward, I see my pelvis wants to drop. Pull the navel in as much as you can. Kick, kick, switch. Kick, kick, switch. 3 more. Kick, kick, switch. Kick, kick, switch. 2 more. Kick, kick. Find the abdomen, pull it up. Squeeze it as tight as you can. 2 more. It should feel that way, all right? So if you have questions, do put them in the chat. All right, drop your head down. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Out through the mouth. From this position, let's have you go into your swimming, all right? So one arm's going to reach, opposite arm and leg come off. And switch. We're starting nice and slow like we did on the first round. 3. And 4. Good. And then we're going to go a little bit faster. If that speed works for you, keep going at the same speed. Good. 3 more. And 2 more. Keep reaching the arms and legs away from the center. And if you want to go for the gusto, go a little faster and make it a little smaller. And breathe. Keep kicking the arms and legs. Nice and long. Reach the arms and legs away from the center of the body. And then rest. Sit back into child's pose. Knees are wide, arms reach forward, and relax, okay? So when you go to that really strong version where you're kicking the arms and legs, one of my favorite things, I used to teach this class, and I will never forget the guy's name. His name was Mike. And he was in the class, and he was just like, woo! That was like his moment of just like really going for it. So find those places when you have time to be in this position, like where you really own something, especially after you've done the videos for a few times. Give yourself that grace of like getting into it, right? Because most of the videos are fairly basic. You can make them more intermediate, but at the end of the day, I really want you to invest in your body, right? On that note, we're gonna move right along, and then I'll have you come to a standing position, okay? I'm gonna bring you up 1 level here. Okay, so we'll come to standing. Normally, when I stand, we can do a variation of things. So let me go through them. Seal puppy is one, which is when we wrap one arm underneath, other arm goes underneath, and we tap the feet together, right? So this is not for the brand new, but I'll demonstrate it because it's kind of fun. All right, and you tap the legs. You press the arms against the calves, press the palms against the ankles, and you tap. 2, 3, and you rock back to the shoulders and tap, tap, tap. And you come back up and you tap, tap, tap. The whole time you're pressing your arms against the legs, right? And then you come to standing. Yeah. Now you know why it's not for the brand new. All right, so from this position, we're going to do a nice and simple leg swings, right? If you haven't done these before, it's fairly safe. Find a wall, right? And I say that loosely because anyone and everyone can make things challenging. All right, so arms on the wall, hands on the hip, and you're literally just opening up the hip. You're going to swing the leg back and forth. 3, 4, 5, 6. And notice my hand is on the hip. Good. And then from here, we'll step and switch sides, right? Other hand goes on the hip, swing forward and back. 2. Make sure the arm that you're holding onto the wall with is slightly in front of you. And your pelvis is solid. Your standing leg is solid. 1 more time. Good. And we'll switch, right? Now, you have the option to do the same thing, skip it because it was too much, or bring the arm out to the side. You can keep it flat or a nice little soft arm. I'm going to keep my arm flat. While you're doing it, you're going to allow your head to round and then allow your head to arch. That does not need to happen if you haven't done this before, but if you have, you're going to round your back, arch the back, stretch out the lower back, stretch out the psoas, right? 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is a Pilates exercise. 2 more. 1 more. And switch, right? Opposite arm goes out, swing the leg forward, back, forward, back, right? So the main culprit here is your supporting leg, right? You can slow this down. 2 more. And one more. Right? When you slow it down, actually, in some ways, it can be harder on the flexors and the lower back. But when you're doing it fairly quick, swinging, even if it's low, it's good. It's really good. It's more about opening up the pelvis and warming up the hip joints. Very similar to when we do leg circles, right? When you're going around for leg circles, right? So from here, we're going to do a nice little cool down, really simple, nice thick stretch of the body, moving this back. Let your legs open nice and wide. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, lean over to one side of the body. Feel the inner thighs lift as you stretch. Notice my stance is wide. Press down on one side of the body and then look down toward the floor. My legs are active. Bring it back up. Same thing. Reach on over. Lean and stretch. The pelvis is staying. Do a small little tilt to one side. Move down. And bring it back up. All right? From here, bend both knees. Hands go on the knees. And you're going to allow one shoulder to come forward as you stretch the inner thighs and press the knees apart. And come back to the center. Take a nice deep breath. Allow the opposite elbow to come forward. Knees are apart. Come back to center. Bring the body all the way back up. And then you're going to heel toe the legs to one unit. Palms come together above the head. You can clasp or keep them long. You're going to breathe and lean over as you laterally stretch out the side of the waist. While you're here, press the feet down to the floor and squeeze the inner thighs together. Look out or slightly downward, whatever works better for your neck, and bring the body back up. Inhale, reach. And lean. Good, again, bring it up. If you feel any discomfort in the spine, minimize your stretch. And if you still feel discomfort, it's a skipped exercise, right? That means it's not for your body. Listen to the body, right? Body truly does keep the score. One more time on each side. Good. And last one, breathe and lean. Good. Bring it on up. Open the arms and legs. Good. From here, literally one arm's going to go over to one foot or knee or thigh, whatever works for your body today. Heels stay behind you. Use the opposite hand to make sure your pelvis stays square if it's available to you. And then bring it all the way back up. Opposite arm comes out and then go all the way across. Grab the opposite ankle, foot, wherever the hand needs to go. Hand that goes behind you is making sure the pelvis is staying nice and square behind you. As best as you can. Come all the way back up. Good. And then from this position, let's have you go into a nice lunge, right? Bring this slightly forward. One foot's going to go down to the floor if it's available to you. Fingertips are down. Take a nice deep inhale, and then if it's there for you, you can lower down to the elbows. Otherwise, stay up on the fingertips, or you might be even higher, right? Where you're holding on to something like a wall and you're just in a big lunge stretching out the front of the hip, right? That's another option. Go back down to the floor. Notice I'm on the other side. I'm going to go a little bit lower for my body, and then breathe. The knee that's up by your shoulder, you can let open, or you can keep it close by. Give yourself 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. One more time, deep breath in. Good. Climb all the way back up, and then we're going to switch sides, right? If you are on the opposite side, go back to it, or even yourself out, whatever that requires. Lower the body. Start high and breathe. Nice little lunge. I'm going to go down to my elbows. If you did that on the first side and it's appropriate, then you'll do the same. Allow the forearms to go down toward the mat as the knee that is closest to the shoulder opens, or it stays where it is. 3 breaths here. 2 more to go. Feel the lower back opening. Feel the hip. Feel the front of your psoas. Good. And bring it on back up. So from here, you'll kneel. Let's have you sit on the heels. If this is too much, you can get a block or sit in the seat. And you're just going to stretch out the front of the knees and just take a nice little neck roll all the way around, allowing the neck to get a beautiful stretch. Right. No forcing, so if you can only go halfway, honor that. Feel the shoulder blades pull down the back. Good. Allow your shoulders to lift up and bring them down. Again, lift them up And bring them down. Last one, breathe and lift. And other direction, up, down, and forward. Up, down, and forward. And if you feel like you should not be on your knees, it's a good time to sit all the way down onto the floor. All right, how did that go for you? I hope it was all right. All right, well, so next week we'll continue, and depending on what we're dealing with in terms of environment and weather, we may get a little bit stronger in our movement if it starts to get cooler out, and just start to work on some resistance in terms of things that you can use at home that can help you up your game or also just sort of take care, right? Remember, it's not just the exercise, right? It's a whole lifestyle change when it comes to taking care of yourself. In different seasons of your life, different things are required, right? Seasons, literally and figuratively. But the most important thing is it's not always easy to do it alone. So I'm here, right? So please come and meet again next Thursday. I'll be here at 1 p.m. and I look forward to sharing this space with you, all right? Remember, you don't have to do it alone. You can do it here with me, all right? Until our next visit, see you soon. Natalie Rand here, signing off. Ciao.